Hey guys, welcome. Lori Lothian, Lunatic Astrology, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the new moon on July 31st or August 1st, depending on where you live. So Eastern Standard Time on July 31st, it's around 11:30 p.m. at night. This is a really interesting and provocative new moon, if I do say so, and I want to talk about why. I'm going to be bringing in a little bit of an asteroid named Pholus to talk about the story that might unfold with the influence of Pholus during this particular new moon. But before I get there, we want to look at the idea that all new moons, of course, are reset buttons and new beginnings. It's kind of a time to sort of like reset the odometer. So there's that feature of the dark sky that the new moon represents, so please remember that. And that what unfolds from this new moon is a reset that takes a whole month to unfold in its entirety till the next new moon. So there is just a general idea of what it's for. Now, this is a new moon that's happening at 8 degrees of Leo. So if you're an astrology inclined person, you know that that's the summer sign, Leo. It's where it's, dog days of summer in the month of August. And so we look at that and we say, well, we've got a lot of Leo energy going through this moon, a lot of fire, a lot of solar qualities, because the sun is the ruler of Leo. So it's a fiery energy. And this combination of the sun and moon at 8 degrees, I mean, they're both sitting in the same spot right on top of each other. I'm just looking down at I love to draw things out. You guys know that's how I work. I'm a colorer. It's happening in the Egyptian bound, or the term in the chart that belongs to Venus. Is it Venus or is it, I have to squint. Yes, it belongs to Venus. I love that. So Venus is the sub-manager underneath the sun of this particular new moon. Venus, love, art, pleasure, sensuality, beauty, joy, money. So we have a chance to do a reset in those areas of our life to some degree, right? She's a part of the story of this moon. And at the same time, this combination of the sun and moon on top of each other are looking up at or giving testimony to Jupiter. And Jupiter's in Sagittarius, so he's very powerful right now. He's in his own home territory. That's his zone, man. He owns a territory, the piece of the pie called Sagittarius of the 12 pie slices of the zodiac. And it's his land he's on. So he's got a lot of power right now, even though he's in a bit of a snooze because he's going backwards. He is retrograde. He's still Jupiter. He's still powerful. And he brings luck and growth and expansion and blessings and opportunity. He brings truth, and sometimes he can bring degrees of enlightenment because he stands for the dispeller of darkness, the guru part of ourselves. So this powerful combination of a reset button under the auspices of Venus, love, art, beauty, pleasure, money, joy, relationship, and Jupiter, giving you the possibility for expansion and growth and luck and opportunity, is going to be a part of what this new moon sets in motion for the 30 days ahead. So consider those themes in your own life. Ask yourself where you might need a reset in those areas of your life. Do you need to reboot or reset your relationship? Is your love life flagging? With Jupiter going retrograde, it could be a time to reassess the relationship. With Jupiter going retrograde, it could be time to reassess your money situation, right? How can you bring more expansion of your finances to your life? Because Jupiter will help you with that. As I sort of said in my last video, he's in a bit of a timeout getting advice from his advisors about how he can best serve the mortals here, this king of Mount Olympus, Zeus himself. So consider these themes for your life. Now, there's a few other things going on at the same time that this new moon is happening. One, there's something called the part of fortune. When it's transiting, the transiting part of fortune, it's literally the movement of the place in the chart where fortunes can rise and fall. And this transiting part of fortune, when this new moon happens, is at 4 degrees of Taurus. Venus's territory, money, love, art, and beauty, the whole thing. So there's a chance that something could tip the scales of fortune in your life in the areas that Venus rules, because the moon is happening at the same time that the part of fortune is in a relationship to the moon and to the sun at 8 degrees of Leo. That relationship from 4 degrees at the part of fortune over to 8 degrees in Leo is called a square. It's a tension angle, but it's also an action angle. It brings things into action, into being, and it's hot here, guys, because we're having a heat wave in Montreal today. Whew. So anyway, so you get the idea, right? Part of fortune's rising and falling in the train of Venus, perhaps being something that will be catalyzed over the course of this month as this new moon reset unfolds. Now, I did hint at Pholus. And I really want to talk about this. This particular centaur, this asteroid, tiny little body in the heavens, is known for bringing change, and it's usually unexpected. It's often like the domino effect, where one small thing, then dominoes into something much larger later. Some incidental thing. It's been looked at as equivalent to like the butterfly wing that flaps in a field in Thailand and it causes a hurricane in the Bahamas or something. In other words, the chaos effect, the chaos theory. So there's something that could just happen that seems incidental during this new moon, in the days before or after, I'd say mostly after, that will have a much longer term change consequences in your life. Pholus, during the time of this moon, is at exactly 0 degrees and 8 minutes of Capricorn. That Saturnian sign that likes to bring things into form. Money and financial systems are a part of the Capricornian wheelhouse. As long as you are going to have some change, why not have some change in the money zone? You add to that the 4-degree part of Fortune is also in relationship to Pholus at 0 degrees, right? So there's that. That's a trine. So what could that be about? The part of Fortune, mathematical position moving through the zodiac, bringing fortune, rise and falls of fortunes, is in relationship to the catalytic change agent Pholus in Capricorn. So at a collective level, it's very possible something's going to transpire after this new moon that shows within the month that something happened in the banking systems, the money systems, the government systems that seemingly was a small deal. Like, if I go to American politics as an example, like we're all expecting something big, or a lot of people were something big was going to happen from Robert Mueller's testimony, but nothing did. Yet it could be during this month that something small happens that no one's paying attention to. It seems insignificant, like, I don't know, another grabbing a woman, scandal with Donald Trump, or, whatever, mistreating a woman, that becomes something much larger later. I don't know, I just made that up. But pay attention. I'm saying that because Venus is playing a big role. Pholus is in Capricorn, but in the bound of Venus. So there's female energy going through this moon. The moon itself and the sun, as they conjunct, are in the territory that belongs to Venus, the Egyptian bound of Venus within the sign of Leo. So without overwhelming you, there's some hints here that something very feminine is afoot this month for you and for the collective. It will bring a lot of change and be very catalytic. It also helps that Uranus, the change agent himself, great god of change, one of the outer planets, and he's known for sudden and unexpected electrifying change, happens to be only a few degrees away, 2 degrees away from the part of Fortune, all right? And in a relationship to Pholus as well. If you want to give it a 6-degree orb, you could say he's in a 6-degree orb trine to Pholus. I'm really paying attention to Pholus, particularly because he's at 0 degrees. And that's a very critical degree, anaretic degree in astrology, and it's very potentized. It's like kind of like, when you have cleaning agents for your house and they're like concentrated? It's concentrated change energy, all right? I have this article called the Pholus Files that I really enjoyed. I wish I knew who wrote it, because I don't know if I have a printout from the website. I'm going to give you some of the key words she has for Pholus. If I find out who did this, I'm going to put this at the end of the video below. A link to her resources. It's an astrologer, I think, who's passed away. But she calls Pholus the start of something major from a small event. Turning points, like the first domino. A situation involving 3 generations at a time, grandparents, parents, and children, which is one I forgot about. Interesting. Pay attention to your generational lineage and things that could be tipping points over the course of the 2 weeks, especially after the moon. Curing certain addictions. So anyone who's got a substance addiction or a Netflix addiction, me, Netflix, you could cure it. Something that happens and you can't get a hold on it, and it's escalating, like throwing a first stone in a revolution. Yeah, because Pholus did something like he opened the bottle of wine that led to some kind of chaos, if I remember correctly. He started the party that led to a war or something later on. And being a catalyst, something that triggers major events later on. And so, pay attention. Something big is germinating here. The saving grace, or the juicy happy spot here, is, of course, Neptune. During this moon is in a conversation called a trine, which is a harmonious Jupiterian energy of a conversation between Neptune and Mercury. So something good is trying to happen here. A conversation of maybe about inspiration. Neptune and Mercury can give you divine downloads, a sudden inspiration, incredible ideas. Do you hear the voice of God this month? That wouldn't be a bad thing. At the same time that Neptune is casting a sweet glance over in a harmonious way to Mercury, we have Pluto across the way in opposition, giving him the evil eye. So Mercury's getting a lot of heat during this new moon from Pluto. Pluto happens to be in the bound or Egyptian term of Mars, so Pluto's in a fighting mood. Mars is a warrior. So you may have an argument or news or information that comes to you that feels chaotic or upsetting, aggressive energy behind that information. Sometimes a Mars opposition Pluto is literally a nasty email or a nasty bit of news or someone giving you an aggressive bit of information that you have to digest. And you know, Mercury is in the bound of Mercury, so this is accentuated movement towards some aggressive news or some upsetting information or some nasty, aggressive message from somebody in your life. I hope it's not that bad. Pluto is at 21 degrees at the time of the new moon, and Mercury is at 21, so in a sense it's something that could unfold after the moon, because Pluto is moving toward Mercury, as Mercury is going back toward Pluto, because Mercury is retrograde. So it's kind of an interesting mashup right now. I think Pluto's retrograde too, but in other words, 21 to it is 23 degrees. Pluto's got more movement toward Mercury in terms of getting there, so this might unfold later in the month, this aggressive, nasty email or whatever. It would be a good time to block or somebody or put them, you know, into timeout if there is a chronic problem with somebody who's aggressive in your life, because Neptune is giving you a sweet enlightenment vibe and asking you to like look at your higher self and be in touch with the powers of your source energy and to communicate from that place. And sometimes the best thing to do for somebody that's angry and striking out is to let them go, is to gently remove yourself from their presence, relieve them of the need to be in an aggressive attack mode, and let them sink into their own self and discover what's really happening for them. All right, I don't wish that on anyone, but that's just a possible expression of what's happening. So again, sudden change and activation through Pholus. It could be quite exciting to see what that looks like. And I don't think there's anything else I need to say about these pictures that I drew and all the little coloring I did here. That's about it. That's about it. So enjoy the next couple of weeks as this new moon unfolds its reset button in your life as we get ready for the full moon mid-month. And I'm having something called the Miracle Lab, and it's free. If you want to sign up for it, go below and check it out. It's a 21-day course, starts August 1st, and it's about generating miracles. And it costs you nothing to entertain the possibility of activating a miracle in your life. So please think about signing up. I'd love to have you in the group. There's about, I don't know, 60 people signed up so far, and we're going to be going off to the races to generate a field of miracles together. As some of you know, I just wrote a book, The Coming Age of Miracles, that I channeled. It will be available for sale sometime this fall. I will let you know when. In the meantime, if you want a reading with me, all the information is below. My website is there. I have a miracle reading right now called Breakthrough to Miracles, and it's really about the impact of the Capricorn Cancer eclipse season that we're in. It started in earnest this January and ends mid next summer is the last part of the eclipse cycle, but really it will be impacting everybody until the end of 2020. So if you want to know how those eclipses are rolling through your life like a wormhole to a new destination, like a tunnel of magic and potentiality for change, I'd love to support you in knowing where this journey is, what that magic carpet is for, and how you can ride it with grace and ease. Because it is meant to be a journey of change that is full of magic and flow and grace in this life. And when it's not, it's just because we are sometimes misaligned. You know, it's like swimming upstream or trying to paddle when everything is totally in order and we're going in the right direction all along. We just have to surrender and relax. Alrighty. Hope you enjoyed the session today, my little post. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks probably when I'll be posting a little bit about that full moon. Mwah.